Hey guys, Vazzy back here, and it is time for episode 9 of our Pittsburgh Penguins franchise mode here in NHL 25. So in this video we will be getting the second half of the season done. Had a very successful first half going 28-12-1. We are currently first place in the division, and we are going to be looking to keep that up going into the second half. Taking a quick look here at the lineup before we get into the sim. Nothing here really will have changed. Still have that top line: McCann, Crosby, McGroarty, Malkin, Savoy, Martone on second, Ilian, Henry, Koivunen, and Tarasenko, Appleton, and Rust. Obviously those two bottom guys, Rust and Tarasenko, I want to play higher up, but just don't really have a spot, unfortunately. Defensively, again, no changes here whatsoever. Goaltending, still Blomqvist and Jari, and scratched. Oh, we actually do have Chris Letang. We do need to get him back in. That is right, I forgot. He was injured last episode, and he will be coming back in there for Bernard Docker. So there we go. I think we are ready to get on with the sim. We're just going to be going forward and getting this second half done, marching toward the playoffs. So jumping in here, first game against the Washington Capitals, 1-0 Penguins, Matthew Savoie. Second period here, 4-0 Penguins. Let's go Crosby with 1 and McCann with 2. And in the third, Letang gets 1 in his return to the lineup, also does Henrique. So huge 6-0 win over the Washington Capitals. Great way to start out the episode. So let's just continue on here. Like I said, we're just going to be simming quite a bit here and trying to get the season done and trying to get back to the playoffs with this team for the first time. Up against the Buffalo Sabres, that is a 4-0 shutout over Buffalo. Up next against the New Jersey Devils, it is a 5-1 loss. That is okay. Let's go switch out the goalies here quickly. We'll get Jari back in, and we'll probably give him a couple of starts here, as we kind of want to play these guys 50-50 at least for now. Going up against the Chicago Blackhawks to start things out. That is a 7-3 win. Big win over the Hawks. Going up against the Seattle Kraken up next, and Jari goes down with a broken collarbone. It's not great. Who do we have in the minors? Eric Comrie? Honestly, why not? Comrie, you will be the new backup until Jari is healed from that broken collarbone. Let's go substitute you into the lineups. You won't get a ton of starts, but you might get 1 or 2 here as our new backup. So Comrie, get in there, and in the AHL, you can just throw in Jet Greaves there and then swap the goaltenders around, and we should be good to go. So Blomqvist, once again, you are back in the net here. And let's just continue on here. New York Islanders are up next in New York. See if we can continue on here with a win. Cody Glass goes down, that is in the AHL. Continuing on here against the Islanders, that is a loss in the shootout by a score of 5-4. Let's go and get Eric Comrie back in. His return to the NHL here. Again, don't really expect much from a 78 overall goalie, but you never know. Sometimes they are the ones that play the best in this game for whatever reason. Up against the St. Louis Blues is a big 2-1 victory. Anaheim Ducks are up next. We will get Blomqvist back in the net here. I don't actually know how long Jari is going to be out for here, so we'll just take it week by week. Comrie, you can come out. Blomqvist will go back in. 968 save, 31 save performance. Love to see it. So up against the Anaheim Ducks here is a loss in the shootout by a score of 2-1. The Ottawa Senators are up next. Up against the Senators, that is a loss in regulation by a score of 4-3. Cody Glass is back. That once again is just in the AHL. Looks like we actually have a little bit of a break here for our team, as we don't play from the 31st January to the 8th of February. So a little bit of a break for the boys. Let's see if we can continue on and just hopefully not start a slump now. First off, against the Blue Jackets, Shane Gostisbehere goes down, so we'll just substitute in Bernard Docker for now. It's not amazing, but is what it is. The Carolina Hurricanes are up next here in Carolina. That is a 4-2-3 win there. Let's go swap out the goalies here real quick. Eric Comrie will be getting at least 1 more start here in the NHL. Blomqvist, you will go back to their backup. Against the Calgary Flames here, let's see what you can do. Gostisbehere is back. That is a 2-1 loss in the shootout. That is alright. We will pick up the point up against the Jets. I'll leave Comrie in for his game here against his former team. against the Winnipeg Jets. That is a 1-0 shutout. Let's go. Okay, so we're picking up some wins, picking up some points. I'm liking where this team is at for now. Let's get Shane Goss to spare back in the lineup, though. May as well, since he should be healthy, and yeah, he is good to go. Swap out the goalies here, and yeah, continue on. New York Rangers are up next on the schedule. See if we can get a win against one of our divisional rivals. Against the Rangers as Rucker McGroarty goes down with a broken rib. So that's not great. That's a guy that's been playing on our top lines. So, what do we want to do here? I guess Martone. Yeah, he's been doing pretty good. Former 4th overall pick, yeah. You can go and play with Crosby for the moment. Who do we have scratched? As a forward, it is Ponamara. So we can just probably move everybody else up here. Rust will get the -1, so move Tarasenko up. He can start getting a little bit more ice time. And yeah, I think other than that, we're just good to go. Continue on. Colorado Avalanche are up next in Colorado. That is a 4-1 loss. St. Louis Blues, followed by the Jets up next on the schedule. First against the St. Louis Blues. That is a 5-4 win in overtime. Winnipeg Jets up here once again on the schedule. Not a very good team in this universe. That is a big 5-3 win over the Winnipeg Jets. Predators up next, playing a lot of Central teams here. In Nashville, it's a 3-2 loss. Edmonton Oilers and Connor McDavid are coming up next. See if we can get a big win against the Oilers here. Crosby versus McDavid. What is going to happen? That is a 3-2 loss against the Oilers. So we're dropping a couple of games here. Again, still doing pretty good. 37, 19, and 4 is our record. I'm still very happy with that as we approach the deadline. Against the Boston Bruins, another regulation loss. Again, we're going to be making the playoffs no matter what at this point. We're looking really good, but we just haven't been playing amazing here, especially of late. So hopefully the guys can turn it around here. Comrie, you will get the second half of the back-to-back against New Jersey. And against the Devils, it is a big 6-2 win as we head into the trade deadline. So we're sitting third in the division. Again, when you look at the standings, 67 points is the wild card. We have 80, so we're looking good. But, you know, we were first in the division when we started out, so I don't know. What do we want to do? Forward-wise, Crosby leading the way. McCann, Malkin, Martone. He's having a pretty good rookie season for us. I've liked what I've seen from him. Ilya, 35 points. I like that quite a bit. Matthew Savoie. You know, he's done alright for a second-line center. You probably hope a little bit more, but it's not bad. McGroarty, another guy you kind of want to see a little bit more from. He's doing okay. He's having a better year than last year, but for a top-line guy with Crosby, you hope for a little more. Rust there on the 4th line getting 8 minutes a night, 22 points. That's actually really, really good for Brian Rust. I like that. Defensively, Carlson is just a monster for us, 71 points in 62 games, but everyone's playing good. And goaltending-wise, it's the same. Comrie 3-0 with a 970 save and a 0.98 goals against average. Insane. But yeah, everyone's just playing really good on this team, and I really don't know if I even want to make any moves. The team is kind of constructed to how I want it to have, and like we have Rust, we have Tarasenko on the 4th line. Is there really anything else we really need to add? I don't know. So you have Hamilton, Drew Doughty, Troy Terry, Coleman, Holla all on the trade block here. I don't know. I'm not sure if I'm going to really even make a move here. I'm going to go see what is out there. I'll see what the possibilities are for trade. But if I find something that works, I will cut back to you guys. Alright, so the deadline has passed and I didn't even make any moves. You know, I really do like where we're sitting. I like this team and how it's constructed. I think we could do alright for a decent little playoff run. So, I don't know. Maybe that's a mistake, but a lot of the time I find when these games, when you add guys at the deadline, a lot of the time they don't really even play that well for you, no matter the overall. I don't know. We're going to run with it. I like this team and the way it is, and hopefully we get McGroarty back soon, and then we'll be back at full health. Eric Comrie still in the net there and playing good. Let's leave him for at least a game or two. I'm not sure when Jari's coming back. Hopefully it'll be soon. First game here against the New York Rangers. We can jump into this one here after the trade deadline. Up against the Rangers in New York. First period 0-0. In the second, 1-0 Rangers. Cooley gets one for them. And in the third, 1-0. That is a unfortunate shutout there to the New York Rangers, but you're not going to win games when you're not scoring any goals, unfortunately. So let's just continue on. We have about 20 games or so, and there you go. Tristan Jarry is back. And honestly, do I even really want him back at the moment? I don't know. All the goalies have been playing so well, especially Comrie now. I know it's 5 games, but those numbers are just absolutely absurd. I think we will get Jarry back in there. He will just kind of be a tandem guy right now with Blomqvist. But hey, if we need Comrie, the option is there. So, like I said, let's just continue on here. Get through these next 20 games and see what happens. Big win to start things off against the Carolina Hurricanes. The Florida Panthers are up next. That is a 5-4 loss in the shootout. Play the Carolina Hurricanes once again here. Played them just about a week ago. Up against the Hurricanes here for the second time. It is a 3-2 loss. So let's go switch out the goalies. Jarry will get his first start back, and first probably couple of starts back here since returning from that broken collarbone, I'm pretty sure it was. Continuing on here against the Montreal Canadiens. It's a big win in the shootout by a score of 4-3, picking up those 2 points. Couple of divisional games here coming up, at least 3 in a row. First against the Flyers, that's a 6-1 win. Love to see it. Love beating down the Flyers, obviously probably one of our main rivals. Capitals, Rangers, and Hurricanes up next. All Metro teams end up beating the Capitals 4-3 there in the shootout. Up against the New York Rangers in New York. As we lose Sidney Crosby. Ooh, that's not good. Hamstring strain. Wasn't the longest term thing. Scratched. We don't even have a forward, so we're gonna have to call somebody up here. What do we want to do here? Who do we even have in the system here? Oh, we actually have that Callahan guy that we drafted. That's right, I totally forgot about him. Tom Callahan. Honestly, 79 faceoffs. I think we're just gonna call him up. He can be like a third line center for us. He will be making his NHL debut, and yeah, we'll see how he does. And like I said, hopefully it won't be too long here for Crosby, but Tom Callahan, you will go in and substitute in all lines. Matthew Savoie, you will go first line center. Adam Henrique, you will go second line center. Tom Callahan on the third. Just need anybody here to fill in the AHL. Cody Glass, there you go. You can get back in. And yeah, we'll see how Tom Callahan does. I actually totally forgot we even had him, to be honest, but he's going to be a huge part of our team's future. 82 overall, super young guy. First game against the Carolina Hurricanes, it is a 4-3 loss. Toronto Maple Leafs up next here. Can we beat the Leafs? Crosby is back, that's awesome. We're going to just hold off for him at the moment as we lose 7-0 to Toronto, yikes. So I'll probably play one more game here against the Devils, and Crosby can return against Ovi and the Capitals. So up against the New Jersey Devils here, see if we can get a win against a divisional rival. And that's a big 5-1 win. So let's go get Crosby back there. Let's see how Tom Callahan did in that 3-game sample size. Callahan, 1 assist, 3 games, -2. Probably was a big minus in that 7-0 loss to Toronto. So Crosby obviously will go back up and yeah, put everything back to how it was. And Callahan there, I think we're probably just going to send him back down. Don't want to have him sitting if he doesn't have to. Let's go to game logs here. And against Toronto, no, it was actually his first game there. Against Carolina, I think it was -2. That's okay. He can go back down, continue to develop. And starting next year, he's going to be a big part of this team. We'll have to even see where we slot him in, but that is a problem for next year. And a good problem to have. So let's go get him back playing in the AHL. Cody Glass, once again, you can come out. I really don't care at this point. And Callahan will be our top line left winger. Alright, and once again, I think we're just good to continue on here. First up against the Washington Capitals, return of Sidney Crosby, 2-1 loss in the shootout. Do pick up that point there, and where do we sit? So we are still third, 44, 24, and 6, with 94 points. We're right there in the division. Honestly, again, we're good to make the playoffs. We should be hopefully playing pretty good here over the next couple games, but I guess we're going to have to see. So up against the Colorado Avalanche here at home. It's a 5-3 loss. Played the Philadelphia Flyers up here in Philly. See if we can get another win against one of our rivals. 4-3 win in the shootout. So home and home against the Red Wings, first in Detroit. In Detroit, that will be a 5-2 win. Love to see it. We'll be traveling back to Pittsburgh here. Let's go switch out the goalies. And that will be the end of Jari's little run there. Actually was a pretty decent run for Jari, but he played well. Up against the Red Wings here now at home, as Rutger McGroarty's coming back. That's good to see. We're getting healthy. And there you go. 5-0 shutout. So we're getting closer to the end of the season here. Up next against the New Jersey Devils at home. That will be a big 6-5 win in the shootout. So I really like how this team is looking right now. I think we're looking good. We can get Rutger back into the lineup now. Ponomarev, you played alright. Again, you're not getting a ton of ice time here. Rutger can go back in. Tarasenko will go back down. Ilyin will go back down. And Rutger, I think I'm going to just leave you on the second line for the moment. Still have that lingering injury, but should be fine by the time he faces the Blue Jackets. And we only have 2 games left, a home and home against the Jackets. So first game here in Pittsburgh, can we end the season off strong? 3-0 shutout, love to see it. And now final game of the season in Columbus. Let's jump into this one. First period here in Columbus, 0-0. After 2, it is 2-1 for us. Porter Martone, Chris Letang. Chinakhov gets one for them. In the third, Chinakhov does tie it up at 2. Nothing in overtime. And in the shootout, the Pittsburgh Penguins will take this. So big win there in game 82. As we finish with a record of 51-25-6. Good for 108 points. Tied for top of the division there with the New York Islanders. So just amazing season. Good to finally see these guys all playing together after a tough couple of seasons, to be honest. Let's go look at some of these points here before we close everything out today. So Sidney Crosby leading the way, 83 points in 79 games from the captain. Malkin 57, definitely is slowing down, but still doing all right. Porter Martone had a pretty good rookie season. Ilyin 48, like that quite a bit. Matthew Savoy still looking not too bad in his development path. Rutger, I want to see more out of Rutger for sure. 29 and 57. Going to the defensive side of things, Carlson's still just a monster for us, 94 points on the year. Outside of that, everyone just once again played good. And goaltending. We had really strong goaltending just from everyone this season, so no real holes in this lineup, at least that I can see. So let's see, who are we going to be facing in round 1 of the playoffs? It will be the Philadelphia Flyers. This is going to be a fun one. So the Battle of Pennsylvania here. Go take a look at the Flyers lineup, see if they've really done anything here in the last couple of seasons. Philadelphia, so you have Konechny, Couturier, and Michkov up to 91 now. Is the skilled up zone ability? That's interesting. Good shooting on the guy. Yeah, his team is looking good. Farabee there. You have Bobby Brink, who's been developing. He's looking good now. You also have Jet Luchenko there, made the team. Michael Hage somehow got from Montreal to Philly. Defensively, again, no real superstars here, but a pretty solid top 6 there. And in goalies, you have Samuel Ersson, who's up to an 85 now. Kolosov backing him up. And scratches or injuries, nothing too crazy at the moment. But I think that is going to do it for today's episode, going over the second half of the 2026-27 regular season. Huge matchup here coming up against Philly. Cannot wait for it, but I will see you all in the next episode with the Stanley Cup playoffs.